sweet friends, today we are having a pajama zine making party. I've been talking so much lately about pen pals, snail mail, all sorts of things, and I have shown a little bit of my zines that I make, but I wanted to show you guys because I think that everyone could find a lot of joy from whether you're sending it to someone else or making it for yourself. I think it would be really fun to make a zine monthly, like a March edition, an April edition, or maybe quarterly, seasonally, spring, summer, things you're looking forward to. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be if you want it to be. I've seen people make up zines on Canva on different websites and then have them like professionally printed into an actual magazine. But zines themselves, you can make them and you can bind them like a book. Or what I'm going to show you is my preferred method. It's small, mini, super compact for if you want to toss it in the mail, easy to make. All you need is a piece of construction paper and whatever pens or pencils you want to use. So we're going to hop right on into that, and I'm going to show you how I make my mini zines and an example of one that I'm sending off to a dear friend soon that is a self-care edition. I heard you that even if you think you are not a crafty person or this doesn't appeal, you can do it. I know you can do it, and it might not be perfect, and none of mine end up being perfect, but it is such a nice creative outlet. So I'm going to bring you on over to my desk. All right, so I have chosen a lovely little green color for today for, I don't know, St. Patrick's Day, spring, March, grass, plants, whatever you might be wanting to work with is fine. You can always add backgrounds of other colors if you're worried about things showing up on a dark color. We are going to talk all about that. So you want to start with a piece of construction paper here. This is literally just from the dollar store. And there's just going to be a few folds here. It's not too complicated. So the first one we're going to do is like this. So taking it from lengthwise and folding it like a book. So like I said, I am not perfect at this. I just try and line up the edges. Some people make these and they are beautiful where there's no uneven edges when they're finished. My edges are always a little uneven. And I think that just adds a little bit of character. I'm completely fine with it. We're going to fold it like a book, like that, and then we're going to spin it lengthways again, and we're going to fold it like a hot dog. I don't know. I think I'm getting length and width mixed up in my head. Anyhow, we're going to fold it so it's another tinier rectangle and put a crease in there. And you can use anything that's going to help you crease it better too. If you have a ruler or something, I'm just working with what I have. So then we're going to open that crease up like this, and then we're going to fold this way. And again, just do your best at lining up the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to crease again there. I'm going to use a bit of my ruler here to just try and fold that a little better. Okay, now you're going to take your paper, unfold it to this, find where the opening is, and we want to cut the side that's not open. And we're just going to make a cut all the way from here into the center. Again, the side that has the fold. And y'all, I am never good at this part. This part is hard to cut a straight line. If you have like a paper cutter where you can get a more exact cut, that's probably going to serve you pretty well. So just cutting halfway there. And now, and I always mess this part up at first, you're going to take your paper, open it up, fold it this way, and boop, you can start to see it kind of come together, and you can choose which way does it look like it's going to fold better. Fold that last crease there, and you have yourself a mini zine. How easy is that? Like I said, this is going to be my back because this is the side that got a little wonky with my folds, but from this side it looks wonderful. So then you have just a couple of pages, your cover, 1, 2, 3, and your back. And like I said, what I like to do is take cardstock to make the rest of it, and I think it adds just dimension with color. So if you're my friend Kat watching this, I'm so sorry again, please exit out because this is your little zine that's going to be coming in the mail that I'm about to show. So now is your chance to exit. But like I was saying, this is one that I made for my friend Kat that I'm sending out this weekend, and I've doctored it up to be a little bit cutie pie here, but I'm going to take my little twine off, and show you. So like I said, I've taken just a piece of cardstock that I got from the dollar store as well. And I like to call my zines the In the Meadow zine, naturally. And this is a self-care edition. I've sent off, oh, what have I sent off? I've done a spring 2025 edition I sent to a pen pal. I did a March edition for another pen pal. And this one, I feel like there might have been a fourth that I've done, but I've for sure done those three. I'm very into it. And I took a little Beatrix Potter sticker from a Tom Kitten book and put it on the front. I thought that that was really cute, and just used my gel pens to make a little cover. Again, I don't have a printer, so I just work with what I have, and that works perfectly well for me. And then on the inside, my first page that I like to do in all of my zines for my friends is a little word search. And if you Google word search generator, you can plug in your words, plug in how many letters you want to have across and you want to have down, and you can make a custom word search. And then I just copy it from my phone onto a piece of cardstock. And again, I like doing it on cardstock because if I happen to make an error, I can cut a new piece and start again. Whereas if I did it right in my zine, I would have to then put something over top of it to cover up the error. So that's also another reason I like doing it on cardstock and transferring it over. And then I just used a ruler to keep myself in line as I was copying down the letters. So again, this is like custom for my friend. I've done Finch. We love the Finch app. Anyone that watches me literally anywhere online knows I love the Finch app. I did Jellycat. Her and I have the same persimmon Jellycat dragon, naps, duh, self-care, therapy, and Catadilla, which is what she calls her quesadilla order from Taco Bell because her name is Cat. I love it. It was one of the first things I learned about her before we were even really friends. And then I just did a little affirmations page for her. So I made these little foldouts. Just think it adds a little bit of dimension to the zine. And I drew just some little stamps. You can do whatever. I did a Studio Ghibli one for my friend in Japan and did little Soot Sprites and Totoros on the front. And then inside I've just written some little affirmations there that I think she will appreciate. I think it's just a nice little way to check in. So I think that that is a super good start to my little zine. And then on my next little spread here, just so you guys can have some ideas too, I like to do a playlist. I love a playlist. I grew up in the days of burning mixtapes, mix CDs. I still have mixed cassette tapes that my stepdad made for me. And I remember just the love language of burning a CD for someone. And I feel like making a little playlist is kind of the modern day version of that. So for her, I made a little songs for good days and just put together some songs that make me think of her, that make me think of happier days for self-care, and made a little playlist there. I've also done songs for Sundays, just cozy Sunday songs. I did a Canadian playlist for an American pen pal of mine of just Canadian artists that maybe she doesn't know, maybe she does know they're Canadian. I just think it's a very personal touch to any zine. And then I just did a little kind of filler page, I guess. I had these really cute spring Winnie the Pooh stickers that I wanted to use. So I did just self-care ideas for hard days and have asking for support, brushing your teeth, filling your water bottle, a sweet treat, naps, and washing your face. And for my last page here, I did Kat's little mental health day itinerary. Now, I often like to do a 2-page spread to close it out, kind of like the special that you're ending with. So I've done recipes before, but for Kat, I thought, on a self-care day, you don't necessarily want to be cooking or baking. So let's figure out things that I know she loves and put it in the perfect mental health day. So I started that for her with her morning sodi. Don't come for us. We don't drink coffee. We love the occasional morning doctored sodi, little vanilla lemon Diet Coke. And then grab breakfast out, head to a bookshop. And Kat is an independent queen. She drives 8 hours spontaneously to go visit our other friend. She is a brave girl. So I know that for her, going out to a bookshop and doing a solo lunch date is something she enjoys. Okay, so I know this is not it for everyone. For me, I would personally cry having to do this by myself. We're all different, and that's the beauty of zines. So I put Taco Bell, Jimmy John's, the world is your oyster. Whatever you eat in America, I guess. Afternoon antique shopping. My girl loves to antique. Home to snuggle her daughter and dog. Duh, another sodi. And then PJ's TV and her warmie. A little better days ahead. And I think that that's just a really sweet way to remind somebody of
what they should be doing for themselves, especially when it comes to self-care. We're all our own worst enemy and our own biggest critic, and telling ourselves we don't deserve it. And we do, and sometimes we just need a friend to remind us of that. And on the back, I put another little Beatrix Potter sticker and put snug as a bug in a rug. And that's my little zine that I made for her. And I don't know, I didn't see many people talking about zines online. I did a lot of looking into it on TikTok in particular when I was looking up different methods to fold them, because I also made one for my partner, which I'll actually grab right now and briefly show you that I bind it, because there's just different techniques and ways that you can do them. So this was the one that I made my partner, and you can tell I messed up on the binding a bit. It was, you know, my first go from the tutorial, but I got it. So this one I bound with thread instead of doing folding. I just folded each individual piece of construction paper and made a little zine here. And I don't think I'm going to show every page because it is personal. I have, you know, some pictures of us, a letter, some specific dates we've been on. I did a little date night idea envelope. I think putting envelopes in zines can be super cute. I made a little collage here of things that we love. Again, I don't have a printer, so I worked with magazines and things that I had, did some memories, and then just some pictures of us with our late dog. And that was that zine. So I think that there's really a lot of options when it comes to zine making that you can do. And I am no expert to do this kind of tutorial yet, but hopefully with more practice, I can get there. But that is Zines 101. I am going to move the camera back on over and we're going to catch up and talk a little bit more about this.
Oh my gosh, the sun is coming out now. It actually is starting to feel like spring. Anyhow, that is zines for you. And I hope that this inspires somebody, even just one person, to give it a go themselves, because I think the world needs less consumption. I know that sounds weird coming from a YouTube video, but I've talked ad nauseum about long form content and how I think it is healthier for our brains, and our brains were not meant to consume at the rate of consumption that we have. And comparison is the thief of joy. And when we're living a life constantly scrolling and comparing our rooms, our lives, our diets, everything in a day to other people, we're subconsciously constantly comparing, and comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that we can find a lot more contentment and peace with ourselves and our lives when we do something like making a zine instead of scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever hole you end up in your phone. And I often get people that are like, how do you find the time? Like, where do you find the time for hobbies, especially working a job? And I feel like I meet people with sometimes maybe a little bit of tough love of like, look at your screen time. Be super realistic with yourself, because even if you diminished your phone time by 20 minutes, my goal personally is to spend 20 minutes a day on a hobby. That way on really busy days, I am at least meeting that and giving myself time for me to respect myself. And on days like today where I'm off, I can be in my PJs and I could do crafts for 3 hours if I wanted to. But I think there are ways to squeeze it in. And if you worked 20 minutes a day on a zine for a friend, by the end of the week, you could have something ready to go. It's all about prioritizing where we're putting our energy. And gosh, that could be a whole topic in itself. And I talk a lot on the podcast about that. But all that to be said, I think that zines are super important and a key element of our future in connecting with people. And they sure have been historically, if you look into the history of zines and how they were used to spread information, especially through marginalized communities and during different world events where that was the safest way to share information. I think it's pretty darn cool. So like I said, you can make a zine about anything. You can make a zine about your first date. You can make a zine about your perfect day. You can make a zine about a cause that you're really passionate about resources, whatever it might be. And I want to know if you try it out. You have to let me know. If you have me somewhere else, send me a picture. But I am going to go cozy on up and work on this new green zine that I don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know. That is the beauty in the creative process. So thank you all for being here, and I will catch you next week.